Wiscasset Speedway Group 2 opening day. That's one of the great things about Wiscasset. We have 2 exciting opening days, and we're going to do some spotlight interviews that are brought to you by Coastal Auto Parts. We thank Coastal Auto Parts and their Napa locations for bringing us this televised broadcast of Wiscasset Speedway. So first up, I'm going to talk with Nick Reno. He's doing double duty week to week, now with a late model, Pro Stock last week. Nick, you're going to be fielding 2 cars all season long?
It wasn't the plan, but you never know how that goes. It all depends on how the season takes off here. We had some speed last week in the Pro Stock, but we had some pretty bad luck in the feature. So we'll probably be back next week with the Pro Stock. This one, we're concentrating on the Coastal 200, so we're going to at least run it till then, as long as it stays in one piece.
And how are you feeling today in the late model?
I was pretty confident before today, but we're having trouble finding some speed. We have to restrict this motor a lot because it's our Pro Stock motor, and they make you put a big restrictor plate on it, which takes a lot of horsepower away. So I think we're probably one of the less horsepower cars here today, which will help us in the long run, but it's not helping us on the time charts. So we'll see.
All right, so going back to last week, you certainly did get the short end of the stick at one point there. Had a brief altercation with Scott Chubbuck, and unfortunately there was no cautions in that race because I know you had a fast car and you were definitely hoping for a caution. I got to give you credit. You were a nice guy not to bring out a deliberate caution when you definitely had an opportunity to.
Yeah, I hate seeing that when I'm watching a race. Somebody just, stop, because I could have stopped right there where I spun out. I was in the grass, but I figured I'd get back on the track and try to keep it going. And there's not very often they go caution-free, so I figured I'd get one eventually, but we didn't, and that's just the way, we drew the short stick last week, but that'll help us in our starting position next week. So.
All right, thanks, Nick. Good luck today.
Thanks.
All right, we're on to Shane Clark, the number 21 late model. You were on the top of the speed charts, I think, practice number 2. Oh. You have a surprised look on your face.
Yeah,
you evidently didn't even notice that.
No, I didn't. We rolled up pretty close, put our race tires on, and landed a pretty good lap. It was still pretty tight, but trying to work on that. But I always feel comfortable when I come back here. So.
Oh, yeah. So it didn't take long to get back used to the way things are here and get back into the grind of things, I guess I'm trying to say?
No, I feel like this is like coming home. Richard and Vanessa are always so warm and welcoming to us, and when I roll out racetracks, it's the same old place, and just love it out there.
They certainly are. I'm glad that you mentioned that. Richard and Vanessa, they welcomed me to become an employee here as well, and it couldn't have been a better decision. So this place feels like home, and we're certainly glad to have you here. So you didn't know that you were the fastest, but you felt pretty good?
Yeah, the car felt pretty good. It was a little close, a little tight, just the center off or whatever. And it's kind of the same thing we always run into problems here. But there's a lot of new cars, and stands are going to be packed again, so it's going to be fun to be here. That's for sure.
Yeah, they were packed last week, and we know Group 2 has a lot bigger fields that there's sure to be more people than there was last week. Plus, it's a little bit warmer. It's really nice out. It was a little cold and windy last week, so definitely higher hopes to have a more packed grandstands and exciting show.
Yeah, definitely. I always like coming here, and there's a lot of fans. $5 to get in, you can't beat that. It's a couple-hour ride for me, but like I said, it's just a nice, warm, welcoming place to be at, and we just get to talk to all my friends I've raced with a long time, and race with Josh again, and it's when I roll on the racetrack, it feels like home.
Now, so with Josh, you guys are just kind of from the same neck of the woods. Is that what it is, or you're not related, are you?
No, we're not related at all. Just
good friends.
Yeah, I've raced him for probably 15 years. So we've got to know each other a little bit. Just like a lot of these guys. Kind of miss Andrew. Andrew McLaughlin didn't come back, and I raced him a long time. But I'm sure we'll race Ben Erskines. I raced him a long time. Will, and it's just a good group, good core group of guys.
Certainly. All right, Shane. Good luck today. Thanks for talking.
Thank you.
Will Collins, last practice for the late models, you were on top. Practice number 2, you were second right behind Shane Clark. So you and Shane Clark, obviously a couple of cars to look for in the late model class. Feeling pretty stout?
Yeah, it's not too bad. It fires off real good, and it got a little loose as we went, but we'll tweak on it and hopefully get a little better.
And so you just came in the pits from taking the Landon Tapley's number 25 street stock out for a few laps. Good friends with those guys, helping them out, trying to work out some bugs in that car?
Yeah, he's new, and they just wanted me to feel out a few things, and it's quite a difference, going into turn 1, sawing on the wheel. It's a lot of fun to drive, though. I'd really like to race the thing.
Yeah, I mean, it almost takes more skill than racing a late model, right? You really got a saw on that thing.
You really do have to get up on the wheel and drive those things. I mean, we got a lot of tire. They got, a little nothing for tire, but it's a lot of fun.
It makes you want to go back.
It does. I miss it.
Will Collins wants to go back street stock racing, everybody.
I wouldn't mind it. I would take the chance.
So, hey, you've been with this car for quite a while, this Pathfinder chassis, right? How many years have you had this chassis?
We got it from Scott Jabak, I think, in 13. We started running it. Yeah, we've had it for quite a while.
It's coming up on 10 years then next year.
Yeah, we've had it for quite a while.
Yeah. She's old faithful, always keeping you pretty close to the front.
Yeah, it's a good car. It's, a lot of it's just operator errors at times. The car's good. It's just, how racing is, little things here and there. And
as they say, run out of talent at sometimes.
definitely.
All right, well, I think last time that you won an opening day race was 2018, right? That was a pretty memorable moment.
Yes.
Hoping you can win opening day here today.
That'd be a great way to kick things off, but I drew number 30, so I got my work cut out for me.
All right, man. Well, hey, lucky thing is handicap doesn't come into play for the feature. It's all about where you finish in the heat on week number 1, and then from here on out, it's all about the handicap. So week 1 is a great way to get a good heat finish and already start out front for how you finish in the heat race.
Yeah. No, I actually wish we'd go back to the old way of, drawing every week, top 3 to the rear type deal, but it is what it is.
I do hear a lot about that. The handicap system here, Wiscasset, just trying to keep things competitive, close, keep fast guys at the back, because at the end of the day, a big part of it is about entertaining the fans.
Oh, definitely. I see that side of it, but sometimes from the racing side of it, you get frustrated with it, but it is what it is. Everyone's just dealing with it, so.
All right, Will Collins, everybody. Good luck today, my man.
Thanks, Nick.
And then number 15 late model, Frankie, always a force to be reckoned with out there in the late models here at Wiscasset. How you feeling today on opening day?
Pretty good. The car, it's handling really well. It's not super fast on the charts, but I think we're going to be all right.
You think it'll come in the long run, possibly?
Yeah, I think they'll slow down to us.
That's definitely something to hope for. So we'll go back to next year. Did you get any wins last season?
Yeah, I won 2 races last year.
So yeah, that's pretty good, because the as we were talking about with Will Collins, the handicap system makes it hard for sure. I want to level myself out. I don't want to look so short, but so getting 2 feature wins is definitely something to be proud of, because it's tough to come from the back with that handicap system for sure.
Yeah, I mean, there was came from mid-pack when we won our races, but the way they kind of do it now is like the last 4 races. So if you have a couple tough weeks, you can start up front for a couple weeks. But this is one of the toughest classes around.
Definitely. On average of 20 late models a week all last season.
Yeah.
I didn't quite see how many are here today. I hadn't had a chance. Did you catch that by any chance?
I think there's 21.
21. Again, an average of 20 plus late models. Definitely one of the biggest and most competitive classes in New England, I would dare say.
Yeah, I mean, that's why we come here, because you want to race against the best. So
Glad to have you here, Frankie. And again, you going for points this season?
we'll see how it shakes out. I like winning races, so
Yeah.
we'll just see if we're in the points, and we'll try to get it. But if not, just try to win some.
Okay, Frank Moulton, glad to have you here. Good luck today, my man.
Thanks, bud.
Slight contact going into 3 between the 00 and 88. Dave Getchell on the inside. Slight contact last time around with Waltz. Waltz does a fine job hanging on to it, but he's going to get shuffled back 2 spots now, back to 4th. Will Collins up tight behind Getchell in the 88. Collins is in 3rd now. And he looks fast. Waltz back to 4th, and then it's Boss Hog making up your top 5. Getchell opens the inside for Collins, and the 25 now moves up to second. The late model rookie, Jet Decker, with a relatively comfortable lead over Will Collins, giving chase now, breaking free of the field. Collins is reeling him in, but will he have enough time? We've only got 3 to go this time. Collins is turning 0.2 of a second faster lap times than Decker. Will Collins' best lap time, 15.6. Jet Decker's best lap time, 15.8. We've got 1 to go. And Collins is up on the back bumper of the 01. 2 corners remain. Collins looks to the inside, but Decker's gonna hang on.
Pace car ready to turn in, and heat number 2.
And a strong start by both those guys. Getting pretty antsy right up to that restart zone line. It's Frank Moulton in the 15M. Brandon Fowler, Nick Reno, up tight on the back bumper of your leader. Emerson wants a piece of the action as well in the 24. What a race. Dead even for second. Fowler and Reno. Both of these guys looking for a way around your leader, Frank Moulton. Fowler in the 72, right up tight to the back bumper, trying to open up that inside line underneath Moulton. And 5 laps fly by just like that. We've got 4.5 laps to go, and they're settling in single file. Reno pulls down to the inside in third. Frank Moulton, Brandon Fowler, Nick Reno, and Jonathan Emerson, the late model rookie, doing a fine job hanging on with the top 3 contenders. Fowler tries the high side, but enters a little bit too wide going into 1 and into the marbles in the backstretch. You can see some of the debris flying off of the rear bumper of the 72. A lap and a half to go. Fowler still continues to try to work the high side. Coming to the white flag, it's the 15M of Frank Moulton. Reno trying to take advantage of Fowler hanging up top. Reno tries to get down underneath. A couple of corners to go. Can Reno take over second? Moulton's gonna win. Fowler hangs on to second. Reno with a solid top 3. And Colby on the money. From the high side, around 1 and 2, he'll take over. Brent Roy looks like he's going to get shuffled back to third rather quickly as Shane Clark maneuvers around the top. Josh St. Clair trying to follow around the top side of Brent Roy in the 14. And rounding out the top 5 is Chris Burgess in the 47. Shane Clark reeling in your leader. Colby in the 72. Clark has reeled him in down to less than a car length. And Josh St. Clair breaks free of the pack to try to catch up to those top 2 now as well. Shane Clark up tight now, going into 3 on your leader. Halfway flags are out. 5 laps to go. And Shane Clark clearly faster than the 72. Turning a 1/10 of a second lap time faster in that 21 car. Colby opens up the bottom. Shane Clark fills the gap. And Josh St. Clair is going to try to get in uptight as well to keep that inside line open. And he does it. Josh St. Clair catches up just in time to get underneath Colby, and he'll move up to second rather quickly. 2 laps to go for the 21, Shane Clark. Clark, St. Clair, and Colby. Then we've got a great race for 4th and 5th as Burgess now moves up to 4th around Brent Roy. One lap to go for Shane Clark. Looks like he has it in the bag with a couple car length cushion over the 14 of Josh St. Clair. Checkered flag will fly for heat number 3. Shane Clark, Josh St. Clair, and Charlie Colby to wrap up all of the heat races for Group 2 opening day. We're going green, late models, 40 laps the distance. And it's the rookie, Jet Decker, Shane Clark in tow. Frankie Moulton makes up your top 3.
Will Collins caught on the outside of the 25. Hanging tough so far. Actually pulls up alongside Frank Moulton for 3rd. Strong early for Will Collins in the 25. A lot of jockeying for position back through the middle of the field. Collins nearly clears the 15, not quite. Waiting for the all clear from his spotter, now gets it down into turn 3, but can't pull down in front. Frank Moulton fighting back in the 15. Collins tries to lean on him, and he's got some company now. On the outside, I believe that's Brandon Fowler in the 72. No, that's Josh St. Clair. St. Clair now forces the issue, puts Collins up into 3rd. St. Clair setting up shop on the outside, trying to wrestle that spot away from the former champ. Ryan Essensey is on pit road in the infield.
Now Josh St. Clair clears Will Collins for 3rd, and he'll set his sights on the 2 leaders, Jet Decker and Shane Clark. Shane Clark forces the situation down low, and he opens the door to take over the lead in the 21. Jet Decker back to 2nd. for Frank Moulton. He almost goes around with David Getchell and Colton. Chabak brings out the yellow just in time. I think everybody was checking up in front of them.
Gets the green. He and Jet Decker back underway. Decker able to squeeze it in the line almost, but he gets kicked out this time. And he is caught on the outside. Fowler coming up to take fourth position away. That'll put Decker back to fifth as Shane Clark starts pulling away. Couple champs going at it for second now. Josh St. Clair's got the spot. Will Collins putting a lot of pressure on him. Decker finally settles it down into fifth. Shane Clark, he has been fast right off the trailer, and he's showing it as he's starting to pull away now from the defending champion. Half straightaway cushion for the number 21 out of Winterport. Chris Burgess on the move, the 47 car picking his way up through, able to get by the 24 of Jonathan Emerson. That puts Burgess into 8th, Emerson 9th, and Dave St. Clair runs in 10th, rounding out your top 10. Single file they go, but Dave St. Clair on the move, nudges the kid aside, put the 14 car up into 9th. That'll shuffle the 24 of Emerson back into 10th. 17 cars still on the lead lap here in the early going of this one. Josh starting to come to life a little bit in that 14 car, able to get away from the 25 of Will Collins and actually close up a little bit on Shane Clark. Interval remains a half a straightaway, 1.7 seconds. But we've got a spin in turn 4. That's the 86 of Pat Murphy. Pace car in, green flag is out. Josh showing some muscle on the outside, and that number 14 pulls out a half a car length on the outside of Shane Clark, but Clark's got the preferred lane. And St. Clair able to dive down in front of Will Collins to secure second. Collins third, Jet Decker, the kid in the 01, staying right there with the veterans, holding down the fourth position. Tangle between Colby and Doucette over in turn 3. Everyone able to drive away. Shane Clark now is able to get out 2 or 3 car lengths on St. Clair. Josh looks like his car's a little better suited on a long run. Single file we stay. There goes Charlie Colby back down pit road. Hey, don't sleep on old boss hog Dave St. Clair. He's showing really racy up in the 8th position. Started back in 13th. The boss is up 5 spots now into 8th. He's right there behind David Getchell in the 88 car running in 7th. Spin in turn 4. That'll bring out second caution of the race. That is young Daniel Harding in the number 38. Three wide out onto the front stretch. Nick Reno used up a lot of real estate and came right down in front of Dave St. Clair. Shane Clark still in charge. St. Clair's second, then comes the 25 of Will Collins. Brandon Fowler, he's traded spots back and forth with Jet Decker. Fowler's now up to fourth. Decker back to fifth. David Getchell doing well in the 88. Getchell is up to sixth. Chris Burgess on the move as well in the 47. Burgess started back in 12th. He now runs in 7th. Ten laps to go. Shane Clark looking to pick up his first win in 4 years. Clark's been racing some pro stock here and there as well. Laps winding down here, and Shane Clark stretching out the lead now to a little over a second. St. Clair unchallenged now in the second spot. Then comes Will Collins, who's been locked into that third spot all day long. Five laps to go when they come to the stripe this time. Closest battle right now is back there for the 4th and 5th position. Fowler's got it. Decker's had a couple shots at him, but comes back out to a car length. Actually, Decker slipped a little bit coming out of turn 2 that time. Lap car of Pat Murphy up ahead as the leaders head to turn 3 and 4. Nate Sennett lets them know 2 laps to go this time by the stripe. Nick Reno calls it a day. He heads down pit road as the white flag flies. 1 to go. Final time down through turn 3 and 4. Checkered flag is ready to fly. Shane Clark will get the win. Clark gets the win by just a second over Josh St. Clair. St. Clair will take runner-up honors. Will Collins finishes in 3rd.
All right, let him hear it, folks. Shane Clark. His first win since 2018 at Wiscasset Speedway. Congratulations, Shane.
Thank you. It's been a long time here. We struggle a little bit sometimes when we come here, but this thing was spot on. It's right out of the trailer, so I'll take it.
Yeah, Josh didn't have much for you. Multiple restarts, and you still won by 5 or 6 car lengths. I mean, Hats off to you, man.
Thank you. We actually just unloaded this trailer, probably out of the trailer, probably a couple months back or whatever, and put some time in it, actually put some money in it, and get ready for the Coastal here. So, and it's a good way to start the year. But thanks to Thayer's Automotive, Eric DeShield Transportation, J.S. Berry, and Distance Racing Products. You can't beat them. And Stick It Custom Vinyl. Thank you, Jesse Smith.
And we mentioned up in the booth there that you've had a third in the Coastal 200 before, right? That's your career best Coastal finish, so looking to bump that up a couple possibly?
I think so. I think we're as close as we've been since that day where Chase Ben. So we still got some things to do to make a long run car, so it's got some work to do.
All right, awesome. Your winner tonight on the opening day late model race, Shane Clark. Nice run. What's it going to take to get that car?
Get it to turn a little bit better. I was pretty tight, especially on the short run there. After a few, it would come around somewhat. But Shane had a good run, and it's good to see him running well. And same with Will. I might have slipped in front of Will kind of tight a couple times there, but, I'll return the favor, I'm sure. So I got to thank Dave's Road. Went with Family Grocery, M&S Painting, Larrabee Construction, Duvall's. Everyone that helps me over there is a whole crew. So, it's fun to keep finishing up front here. We'll see how long this lasts.
All right. Josh St. Clair, runner-up honors. Top 3 on opening day, not too shabby.
No, not a terrible way to kick it off, but
I'm sure there was a couple times when you would have liked the nose to be up under Josh a little bit further.
Yeah, I
Threading the needle.
I basically knew I had a third place car. I knew he was a little better. It's like, if it was for the win, it'd be a little different, but for third, it ain't worth it.
All right. Will, who do you got to thank for sponsors for your solid third?
Rockland Ford, Beckett's Auto, Swift Storage, mom, dad, wife, MG, Josh, Randy, Andy, Bub, Muzz. Everyone that helps over there. Thank you guys.
Okay, there you have it from Coastal Auto Parts Victory Lane. An awesome top 3 for the late models.